check the live stream, and you should be all set. Okay?
FYI, we're gonna be live.
Yeah.
Can you all hear me? Just wanna make sure.
You're all set, Ken.
Okay.
All right, I'll be upstairs if you need something, okay?
Yep. Thanks. Could somebody talk just so I can hear you? Make sure I can hear you. All right. Yeah, it's a little low for me. Oh well. I'll just have to listen close. Okay, I don't think there's anybody else that wants to come on. They're supposed to come on. Okay, everybody left. So I'm in town hall in the Hicks room. So we are now streaming on live stream and also channel 194. The last meeting we were not because I was not down here to click in. So I'm going to call the Monday, January 4th, 2021 regular meeting of the Board of Selectmen to order. So Candace, could you please start? Thank you. Candy Perez. Great, thank you. Please join us for a Pledge of Allegiance. There's the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic stands, one nation, God, visible to all. Item 3 is agenda review. Does anyone have anything? Okay, number 4 is approval of our minutes of our regular meeting on December 21st. May I have a motion to approve? Thank you, Candace. Is there a second? Second. Thank you, Melissa. Any corrections? Oh, Steve, is Sheila with you, by the way? Or is she on her own? Okay. I didn't know if I had to let her into the meeting or not. Just wanted to make sure. Okay. Hearing no corrections or anything, all in favor? Unanimous. Thank you. Number 5 is the public hearings and special presentations, but I don't believe we have any this meeting, which will bring us to Bob's report, town manager's report.
Obviously, we had a couple of short weeks there. It's starting Monday, December 21st to the 25th. Of course, we were anticipated the storm coming near the end of the week, so I've met with Public Works regarding storm separations. And Jimmy Rollins and his team did a pretty good job. I think he did an excellent job. We had to bring guys in on Christmas Day, but it was necessary. I also met with our social services coordinator, Katie Bale, who's doing a fabulous job. She's jumped right in and has the plate full already. Tuesday, I met with the American Grill Project for a couple of hours as they're talking about their next generation and actions moving forward. They asked me to kind of stay on and help advise it to them. We're discussing what that means. Exactly sure, but as you know, the project's been underway for years. If anyone hasn't seen it yet, it's almost complete. So almost the whole grill is beautiful inside. So hopefully she'll have some more tours available soon. Wednesday, I met with Public Works again and our emergency manager regarding the storm preparedness, because we didn't know how bad it was going to be, so we were making all the preparations we needed to, whether it be warming center, power outages, salt and sand, and obviously trying for Public Works to plan the weather in Winchester significantly different than the weather here downtown, so it really takes a couple different plans. Thursday, the town hall was closed, although there were several of us that worked in the afternoon just to monitor the storm problem. Friday we did the same thing. For the works, Eversource had at least 7 work crews out. We had about 157 people without power, mostly up in the Winchester area. Public Works and Eversource worked diligently. I was very impressed. Eversource was all over this, getting everyone back up very rapidly. But we didn't have tree limbs down. We had entire trees down because if you recall, the temperature was warm, melted most of the snow, and it also loosened all the tree roots on large trees. So when the heavy winds came, as a result of the soaked roots, a lot of trees came down, entire trees, not just limbs. The next week, December the 28th through the 1st, I met with the police to discuss updates on activities that occurred over the New Year's. It was very quiet. There were no significant issues in terms of automobile accidents or DUIs. I did take a site visit, had to go up and spend a little time up at Newfield Road. The intense rains and winds caused a significant portion of the road to be washed out, which created some serious problems for residents up there. The next day, when I went with Public Works, they went out and corrected the situation. Took some heavy equipment to do that, but they repaired all of that. I went up to visit on East Lake Street regarding some real estate questions with a couple of residents. Again, I met with Katie Bale, our social services coordinator, to discuss various issues, plans going into this week now. Tuesday, I met with the police chief regarding personnel changes due to pending retirements. We had 1 retirement last week. We anticipate in the coming year to have a couple more. I also had some conversations with lake residents regarding property improvements and the permitting process and things that they really had to do to complete the improvements they wanted to make. And we had a couple of interviews for my potential replacement on Tuesday in the early afternoon or late afternoon. Wednesday, I met with Public Works again regarding the Newfield Road reparations up there, and also Stonehouse Road. Stonehouse Road, as you may know, it's a road off to the right as you go up into Norfolk. There's actually only one house on Stonehouse Road. And unfortunately, he's at a significant decline from the main highway, which causes him some erosion problems. He actually wanted to buy that road, or he wanted us to donate it to him. We would like to do that, but there were some implications with a local neighbor, which has prevented us from completing that transaction right now. I also met the police chief regarding his budget for next year. We're all starting to, Bruce hasn't started working his numbers yet, but he will shortly, and I'm already reviewing with the major budget contributors, being the Public Works and the police chief, regarding their plans and issues going into next year. And then I met with the emergency management director regarding the vaccination schedules. I'd love to tell you we know what we're doing, but we don't yet. As you know, if you watch the national news, the whole nation's trying to struggle with this issue right now and scheduling this. So we're continuing to work on that. We'll do a lot more work tomorrow. Hopefully the state will give us more information. That was basically it for the 2 weeks. Let me see what's coming up here. Nothing of significance. So anyway, any questions at my summary for the 2 short weeks? Comments, questions? Anyone?
Do we have sand at the town garage for the public?
Yes, we do. The sand, that is open for the public, so sand is available. Pull right in the gate to the right. It's right there. You'll see it with cinder blocks. It's all blocked in and easily accessible.
Okay.
Anyone else? Okay, well, if you have a question going forward, he'll certainly be here. So now we have citizens' comments. If anybody would like to comment we'd ask you to call in at 860-738-6958. Again, 860-738-6958. We have the phone set up here.
Candy, can I comment without calling in for citizens' comments
Yes,
or public comment?
sure.
Okay. Thank you. I just want to give the Board of Selectmen a quick update, and ask for permission for the next Board of Selectmen meeting to do a short presentation on, some information regarding the Winchester education budget coming up. I would like to be able to present, at the next Board of Selectmen meeting, just to be able to apprise you of how I've done in the past, about kind of where we're at, where our hurdles may be, coming up for this particular budget season. I will be meeting with my board on the 11th of January to be able to do a detailed budget workshop with them. We're prepared for several scenarios for them, but I'd like to follow that up with being able to meet with you all to share the information.
So you're talking about the 19th then?
Yes, please.
Yeah, you could, we'll put you on to like item 5, special presentation.
Okay, thank you so much.
Anyone else? Again, 860-738-6958. We also have item 13 for that as well. So under item 8, correspondence, is there anything anyone has for correspondence they'd like to bring up? If not, item 8, boards and commissions. Steve?
Okay, we have a couple of things to consider this evening. Under nominations, this was not included on your package when you got it, but we do have a name to place a nomination tonight, and that is Thomas Sullivan for membership on the Soldiers Monument Commission. And there will be a vacancy coming up shortly, and communicated with Jack, and he'd like to have a seamless transition. The vacancy will turn right into a new member, so we're putting Thomas Sullivan up for nomination this evening, and I will make that motion.
Jack, thank you for the second. So he'll be voted on the next meeting, right, Steve?
Absolutely. After further vetting, we'll take action next week, or next meeting with him.
Okay.
And then under appointments, you have in your package information on Jeffrey Lippincott, who is ready for appointment to the Inland Wetlands and Watercourses Commission with a term to expire on April of 2022. And so I will move the appointment of Jeff Lippincott. I'll second.
Okay, thank you. Anybody have any questions? If not, all in favor? Unanimous?
Okay, and then there's a question that was posed today, Candy. There was some communication going back and forth with you and Deb Angel on RRDD1. There is a vacancy there. The term for Carol Hewitt expired at the end of December, and she has moved out of town and is no longer able to serve. And the name of Linda Grapple. Linda, you're a liaison at the current time. Are you willing to consider permanent membership on the RRDD1 board?
Yes, she is.
Yes.
Okay, then I will place a nomination, the name of Linda Grappo for appointment to RRDD number 1, term to expire December of 2023.
Is there a second? Thank you, Candace. Just for discussion purposes, it's when I first started on the board, I was a representative of the Board of Selectmen. And I think it's important to have a Board of Selectmen member on the RRD1 for the purposes of just communication back to us, especially in these next 2 years. And Bob, maybe sometime you could give us an update on the, not tonight, but coming forward, the update on what's happening with the trash to energy plant in Hartford, and they're not rebuilding it, and trash is going to be sent out of state, I believe, and then they're supposed to come up with some permanent plan. But that's gonna have a big effect on the financial cost to residents that have their own trash hauled, as well as the operations that are already one. So a board representative now and in the future, I think is a good idea.
Yep.
So, Candace? You're muted, by the way.
I don't think there's any need to wait to appoint her to the next meeting. That is in our ability to actually appoint Linda right now. I don't think we need to wait for 2 more weeks.
That was my motion, Candace, to do a direct appointment.
Oh, I didn't understand that.
Yeah, me neither, so, good. All right, so,
As long as Linda's willing to take on the chore, thank you, Linda, thank you very much.
Okay, so. Okay. Go ahead, Linda.
I had another nomination that, I had sent paperwork into Terry.
is this for, wait, is this for RDD one?
No.
Okay, then hang on,
Another
hang on,
commission.
hang on. All right, so I'm gonna call a vote to appoint Linda to RRD one. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, looks unanimous, well, 6-0, and Linda, I'm assuming you're abstaining?
Abstain.
You could vote for yourself, it is okay.
That's okay, I'll abstain.
All right, now Linda, who did you want to nominate?
Okay, no, I had sent paperwork into Terry. There was a vacancy on economic development. And I thought it was going to be included in the packet, but it was not. So I'm going to resend it to her to make sure that it is in next meeting's packet.
Copy me on that, too, will you please?
You did not get it, either? Okay, I will resend it. Steve, did I send it to you and Candace? No?
No, I don't, no.
Okay, we'll redo it again. I'll get right on it. Thank
Okay.
you.
So that would be my report, Candy, other than to say, I did say earlier that Carol Hewitt had to resign, or her term expired, and she's moved out of town. At our last meeting, the suggestion was made that we somehow thank our volunteers who put in service, and I did send a nice little thank you note to Rick Nolet for his years on IWWC, and I can routinely put these little thank you notes if you think that's appropriate.
Yep, that sounds good to me. I'm assuming everybody else is good with that. Yeah, just don't miss anybody.
Yes.
Just don't miss anybody.
No, I know that. I know that story. That's the report otherwise.
Okay, if there's nothing else under boards and commissions, the next one is Bob is requesting a bid waiver. So Bob?
The process is what the attempt here is to give away our old senior center van, which is 13 years old and in pretty bad shape, although there's another organization in town that would like to have it. So the senior center really wants to give that to them. But we have to go through the process where you have to approve us to do that. This van is not worth even putting up for sale. It hasn't operated in well over a year. And Jen Kelly, see if I got her letter here, has requested, there's a company called Greenwood's Referrals and Consulting. It's a nonprofit organization of counselors. They think they can help use this for the open door kitchen and a couple of other things that they might find useful if they're willing to make the repairs, but we just want to give it away as is. So the disposal of equipment requires me to ask you to do this. So I'm asking the Board of Selectmen to grant this bid waiver to donate our old van to another volunteer organization. I have that motion.
Thank you, Steve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, thanks.
I'll second.
Okay, thanks, Melissa. I just have a question, Bob. It's not worth anything, but let's say Greenwoods gets it and decides that they don't really need it or something, and they go to sell it, and they say they sell it for like $500 or $1,000, does the money then stay with Greenwoods or come back to the town?
Stays with them. They're taking possession of this.
And it comes off of our assets.
Yes, it does.
And it's
I think
not-
it's about written, I assume Bruce has written down to nothing. It's gonna cost more than 500 to fix that, let me tell you, so, yeah, we don't want this thing.
And the plates are gonna be turned in, so.
Oh, it's gonna be completely just as if we're selling it, we're just turning it over completely. They'll be in total possession of it, and we're relieved of any liability.
So we get a tax deduction also.
Well, possibly, I doubt there's anything there, given that we don't pay taxes.
Right.
Good point.
Linda?
I just have a question. It says that they're going to use the van to meet their clients at locations such as the Open Door Soup Kitchen. Is it going to be parked there permanently?
No,
No, so they'll get there for a few hours, then move it off-site.
just in use, for usage there, yeah.
Is it gonna be like the recovery van that visits now through McCall's?
Yeah, but it's not, yeah, something like that. Not as quite as good a shape, but something like that,
Yeah.
And they're gonna remove all the branding that has Winchester.
of course.
Any other questions for it? Okay, all in favor? Unanimous? Thank you. Okay, so next up, I believe is, when I get up there, is our executive session for the town manager search. So can I have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second? Thank you, Todd. All in favor? So at this point, I would ask Shaw and Emily if you could voluntarily leave the meeting, and we should be back later, so you could come back on if you want for selectmen's comments and reports. And I'll let you back in.
Okey-dokey.
And I think everybody else on here stays. Oh, Bruce, yes.
Sheila went out to the barn.
Okay. Bruce, do you have anything you want to tell us before you go?
Yeah, just,
I heard you say exactly.
we are, I've arranged for our auditors, King and Associates, represented by Chris King and his associate Sean, to review with you the audit results. They're available at the next meeting. That is Tuesday, the 19th.
Okay.
If you'd like them to present. So we have filed the annual report with the state on time last week, and I think you have electronic copies of those reports, and I'm going to file those in the town hall clerk's office tomorrow.
Okay.
You know, for official filing. But I just wanted to offer you that opportunity to have your auditor's report.
Thank you. Anything else?
Otherwise, I'll wish you a good executive session.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye now.
Bye, Bruce. Okay, Mark.
So unplug that, so that goes blank, and I'm shutting off channel 13. So you see, they're not gonna see anything,
Okay.
but you can still see yours.
Yep.
So live stream is watching I can't do anything, they're watching a black screen.
Okay.
And then you're good now.
Yep.
And when you're ready, I just gotta hit the cable button.
Okay.
So how do you want me to come back in a couple minutes? How do you?
Yeah, a little while.
Okay,
I'll let you know if we, yeah.
text me?
Yep.
All right.
I'm just working with Mark to shut off our
I know,
live
I'm
streams and
Run up and down the
our TV.
stairs. I can't, my knees don't go good.
Then you're gonna have to sit it there then. So I'm just working with Mark about the shut off and then how we'll come back on with it. So, what we want to discuss is, the candidate that we all liked on, the other day. And I spoke to him about having an interview on Friday, but I would get back to him as to what the process would be. And I emailed you all a suggestion of meeting in smaller groups with him, just because I think when you meet in smaller groups, you kind of get to know somebody.
Hold on, Andy,
Huh?
hold on. For some reason,